Well, it's time for the next installment on the new video editing rig. I have no idea if this drive is good. It's a Western Defective 320 gig. Time to put a DVD drive in. Let's see, this one has a screw in the side we'll have to remove. And in order to fit it in here, we need to remove the front case. So we'll unclip, and then on the side, as everything falls, it pushes off. Oh, why would they do that? Okay, let me reconfigure here. Oh, fortunately they left some slack on the cable. Still a hokey design. Look at this. Come on. Anyway, we'll slide this in. I don't know where it goes until. Let me put the front cover back on and see if it's possible that the button on the drive can be pressed. It looks like there's a rubber pad here that, yeah, you can on the edge. I'll show you. That's all you get. That little nub, but it's a button, so it'll work. I'm not going to screw the drive down because I have no idea if it works yet. So we're going to cable that up, cable the drive up, and run some diagnostics on the drive to see if it's viable. If it's not, then I gotta see what else I got. And I think I have like a 40 gig, which is not really what I want to put in here. Okay, drive is temp wired, sitting at the bottom. Plenty of room on the power. Oh, I guess maybe there are two SATA cables. I didn't even see that, but there's only one Molex, so that's fine. We can probably go on the same rail. I mean, these things nowadays don't pull anything. Power it up, press the button thing, see if this drive even opens. It does. Awesome. And it closed. So not so good. Put a discos in, and it found the drive. That one. I don't know if it saw the hard drive. Hard drive spinning. Oh, it's even got an OS on it. Okay, so let's go in the BIOS and reconfigure to boot from optical drive. So, any day, this will come in. Aha. That's all good. That's all good. Everything there is good. Let's go over to boot. Boot device priority. Set that to a TAPI CD-ROM or IDE light on. Okay, maybe that. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. F10 to save and exit. And we'll see if this drive is readable. Spun up. There he goes. Awesome. Hard disks. Check performance. Alright, it sees it. It doesn't know what brand or model or anything it is. And it's testing its performance. Oh, that can't be good. Ready? You know, it might mark that as bad. Damn. I didn't want to see that. Alright. Well, I guess we'll do the internal cache test because that is generally a quick indicator of good or bad. The smart test isn't going to work because it can't read the model, firmware, or serial number for whatever reason. It's nothing I haven't seen before, so I'm sure this won't even run. Right, it doesn't even know what to do. So we're just going to have to do it the old way and let this test, and that is the same sector that was bad before. So it says this is going to take 40 or 50 minutes, so I'm just going to let it cook, and that's it. Well, I let it sit and run this entire test, and it took 2 days, 8 hours, 54 minutes, and 22 seconds. Now, the read and write failures, the first two, were known already from the previous test. There was a read failure at one other sector there, or I'm sorry, the write failure was the one problem, but the other two read failure sectors were already known. So there's only 3 errors on the entire disk. Should be good enough for my purposes. I can't see why that would be much of a problem. If it is, I'll change the drive out. That's not, you know, a big deal. Get to redo all my work again, but, you know, way she goes. So, anyway, took that disk out, and I also found the copy of Windows that I tested the machine with before didn't activate, and I'm going to use the old version that I have that I know will. So the next step, I guess, is to mount this drive in the machine, and then we'll go ahead and install the OS. Okay, I believe I have everything set to boot off of USB. Let's see what's going to happen this time. You never can tell. So a storage device, that's good. Let's use the optical drive. They're mounted up. I'll show you in just a second once we verify this is booting. Looks good to me. A couple screws in there, a couple screws in there, and let Windows load. Well, maybe I jumped the gun. Got a big black nothing.
Look in the top right corner of your screen. Do you see a big blue E or a big green N? Big black nothing. Okay.
And over here, that hard drive light is just blinking. And that's not normal. So the next step is to disconnect the hard drive and see if it'll boot to Windows without that. And as you might expect, of course, it worked. So the next step is to shut down. We'll reconnect the drive over here. If I can do this by feel, there we are. And we'll put in the diagnostic disk, boot that up, and do a destructive write. No, not for 2 days, just the first 100 megabytes. Okay, now we have to type in KCAGFWS, SX. There we go. And as you can see, it'll take 2 days to do that. Over on the left where it says data, we'll let that go to 100 megabytes. And in the meantime, I will plug in my flash drive, and hopefully that won't screw anything up. No, it kept running. That's good. Take my disk out because I don't need that anymore. Put that over here. And we'll hit escape and Control-Alt-Delete. Now we'll see if it'll boot Windows. We got a Windows thing coming together. That's good. And in a few moments the screen will blank. Keyboard initialized. Screen blanked. And there we go. That's all it took. Just had to overwrite it. Why? I don't know, but I learned that trick a long time ago, so that'll be $10. And we'll go ahead and install now. For real. That was an interesting one. I haven't had to do that in a long time. And we're going to go down... I don't know what the N means, so I guess we'll just try that. And next, custom. It's unallocated because we overwrote the drive, so let it go to town, come back later. Okay, good. Now it's time to reconfigure the BIOS once again. Change the hard drive to the first boot, and we will save changes and see if it boots this time off of the new drive, so it can then continue the installation. So we'll see in a few moments if it will decide to actually work. I think with the small amount of bad sectors, I'm probably not going to experience a problem. It's booting. Definitely booting off the hard drive. Let's see what happens. There we go. Completing installation. Perfect. An amber light on the monitor. I think that's a good sign. I hit the control key. Yes! We're here. Type a username. Well, that's going to be default, as all of them are. And the name, I thought about it, I think it's going to be Texas, because this machine was for Matt and he moved to Texas, so that is the correlation with that one. So that's what I'm going to call it, because I can't come up with a better name. We'll use recommended settings. We'll go to the Eastern time zone, which we are in. We'll hit next, and I'll probably skip that for now, because I'm going to hook it up with an actual Ethernet wire, because that's how it's going to be configured. So why set up a wireless that I don't need really anyway? And let's see what happens. Yeah, we're good. This is a genuine version of Windows. If you paid for the DVD, you should ask for a refund. Okay, so I didn't pay for it, so I don't need to ask for a refund. There we are. And we're getting into Windows for the first time. Okay, we are in. We are activated. And I believe there is one driver that we need. Yes, this one here. So we will hit Update Driver, Browse, Browse, and go down to Computer, and which fucking drive was it? E. And then on there, it was in here. We'll hit OK and next, and it should find the driver that's needed. There it is. We're in. We're done. Whoops. We'll hit close, and we're in. Device Mangler is good, and it is time now to run. I don't know if I can launch it that way. I may have to. Well, let's see what happens. Yeah, I can. Time to install Service Pack 1. So we'll go ahead. And install. And look how slow the fan still spins, even though it's really busy doing stuff. It'll pick up, I'm sure, as processing demands increase, but it looks like it's doing well. Okay, I have the Ethernet plugged in. It sees it, so the Ethernet works. So we'll set that up, and now we'll run Portable Update and get all of the Windows updates in. So we'll run that, and it's going to have to download some stuff first to get set up. We'll accept the EULA. Wait for just a moment. We create some files. And we'll just check everything off and let it go to town. This thing is so fast, I was actually able to install Google Chrome and TeamViewer. It was so damn fast, it was scary. Obviously, I have to rerun the assessment on here because this is a fresh install, but we have Service Pack 1 in, which shows over here. and everything's good. So I'll run all of that stuff and we'll get everything up and running and great. And then maybe later on we'll see about upgrading the RAM if I have any that this will accept. I think I do, but we'll see. Okay, it found the updates, so I'm going to go ahead and install those, and I will come back in the next part and do something else. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.